Welcome back to Brotherly Beliefs, Faith, Family, and Fun. I'm Malik.
And I'm Tristan. Join us for another candid conversation about life's tapestry. From the faith that binds us to the family that shapes us to the... That's
Pure
wrong.
fun woven in every moment.
Oh, yeah, that was right.
Yeah, he was on it.
Pure fun woven in every moment. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this episode of Brotherly Beliefs.
Man, let's just say it's good to be back.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It feels good.
Yeah,
It's a nice therapy for me, man.
Yeah.
Nice stress reliever.
Yeah, I've been feeling empty, low-key.
Not enough time with me?
Yeah.
Oh. Stop it. You're making me blush.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, so let's just kick it right off, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to you about this and you forgot about it, I think.
Yeah, no.
I've
been busy, bro.
You forget about me.
I still got work to finish.
You forget about me when you're not with me. It's okay.
Right.
Do you think about me when I'm not with you?
Yeah. I was just talking to Savannah about you earlier.
I like that.
You're crazy.
No. I'll just be thinking, do you miss me? I'll be missing you guys.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, I really want to see more. That sounds kind of... No Diddy.
Yeah, but you're fun to be around, you know? So
Allegedly.
Allegedly, what do you mean?
I don't know. Sometimes I get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like last night, we were just talking about this. Drunker I get, the hyper I get.
Yeah.
And if you're not matching the energy, I will peer pressure you into matching the energy. But to just jump right into like topic for today. So, first sin of man versus first sin of women, right? What was the first? Thinking about the story of Adam and Eve,
Right.
Can you tell me the first sin of woman?
I mean, I could tell you the story of Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
I know where Eve went wrong. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Eve listened to Satan, which came in a serpent form. Satan told her to eat the fruit. You know what I mean? And that was God's one rule for them, was not to eat that or even touch that fruit. And she did, and then she brought it to Adam's attention, and then Adam ate it too.
Well, she ate it in front of Adam.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, right there, first sin of woman, disobedience.
Mm-hmm.
First sin of man, silence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because as a man, you're supposed to lead your household.
Yep.
Right? That is God's instruction.
Mm-hmm.
So in both faith and everything, right?
Yep.
Like in all aspects, you're supposed to lead your family.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could have stopped her. He could have said, "Hey, don't do that. Hey, you know what God said. Hey."
Yep.
He was silent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people do the same thing now, where they just sit silently while
while others lead them through like a bad trail. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's important for husbands to speak up and like say like, "Yo, this is what we're doing." Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, man, I've been just thinking about that.
Yeah. And then it doesn't even fall into the husband and wife category, you know what I'm saying? I can fall into anything and everything,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just any bad decision that you feel like that you know isn't right, you know what I'm saying? Whether that be like of God, you know what I'm saying? Like you see a situation that's like sinful or something like that. You know that's wrong, speak up, you know what I mean? Don't be silent. You want to be loud in the word of Christ, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then even situations that's just like your regular everyday thing, like I don't know. What's a situation? I don't know. Just someone doing something you don't like.
Right? So we can, right? So your friends are doing drugs.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to just do it because it's right? No. You're probably not going to do it and tell them they shouldn't do it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, right? Because I think it's one thing to put yourself on the right path. It's another thing to bring people with you.
Right.
I mean, you see other people doing the wrong thing or things of the world, worldly evils, then why not guide them into something they've never been introduced to, you know what I mean? So why not guide them and bring them with you rather than, because even in like Revelations, right? That's right. Where they talk about the rapture, right? Not every one of God's people are going to be. I'm losing the word.
Saved.
No.
Brought home.
No. I'm trying to think of the word. When the rapture happens and not everyone's going to be like disappear. Not everyone's going to leave.
Yeah.
Right. And so anybody who's still here, their job, their godly duty, is to save people from the mark of the beast and save people in Christ and preach the gospel and lead them away from the mark of the beast and all of that, right? So why we should be doing this in other ways too, right? In other ways.
Where it says that in the Bible, that
yes.
the ones that's left here, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. So I didn't know that. As far as I knew, it was like God's gonna come and get His people, and then whoever's left, SOL.
No. So the holy gravity of sin is the mark of the beast. Anyone who gets the mark of the beast will be doomed to eternity of fire or whatever, right?
Mm.
But there's still gonna be Christians left.
Mm-hmm.
Like not everyone is gonna be like gonna get the mark of the beast, right? You could still be saved after this, right? So anybody who's left that's gonna be their role. He says that they're gonna, like one example of things, they're gonna get the mark of the beast and they're gonna get like blisters all over them, right? Stuff like that. So, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where you should be leading people on the right path before it comes down to that, before it even gets there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, man.
That's why it's so important to give your life to Christ now.
Oh yeah.
And it's especially for the ones that like have been told and warned about it. You know what I mean? The ones that know the gospel and still haven't. You know, you're jeopardizing so much more than just your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just it's different for the ones that truly don't know, because like you run into a Christian or anybody that knows the gospel, they could tell you it, and then now you have knowledge of it. You know what I mean? Now you have the right to choose where you want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would just hate to know about it and then never give my life to Christ and then find out in the end, like, dang, like, you know what I mean? It's gonna suck.
Yeah. And talking about Christ and everything, man, I'm working to be more kind, not nice. Mm-hmm. Jesus was not nice, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think, in words of kind, it's like
kindness
just like
versus
more
niceness.
Yeah, I think it's just more like almost like gentle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With nice, I think it's like sugarcoating things and things like that.
Agreeable. Right?
What do you mean?
Nice, like if you look up the definition of nice, it's agreeable, right? So the nice thing to do is agree with whatever you're saying. So you tell me, do this cocaine. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. That's agreeable.
Nice,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's me being nice. Kind is, I don't do that, man. You shouldn't do it either. That's kindness. That's I can tell you about yourself, because that's what Jesus did. He told people about themselves.
Yeah.
But in a kind way.
Yeah, exactly.
With that gentleness and in that like grace.
Yep.
So I don't want to be nice. I don't want to be a nice guy. Mm-hmm. No, I'll be a kind guy. I'll be kind. Mm-hmm. I'll be able to break things to people gently. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to just be agreeable. I'm not going to but I'll be a kind guy. I'm not going to sit here and be a nice guy, because that's where kindness reaches the point where you're getting taken for granted and walked all over and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really fully grasp the difference between nice and kind before, but now I see it a lot, because like you said, a lot of people will, in certain situations, just to be nice to someone, they'll do something that they know they shouldn't, or that they don't want to truly, you know what I mean? So there is a difference between being nice and kind, and I also want to be kind, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I try and like hold close. Like if I don't like something or if I feel strongly about it, I tell you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, and then and there, I don't try and just like brush it off, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's one thing. And Jesus was firm in what he knew was right and wrong, you know what I'm saying? So we got to start like pounding ourselves to be that way too.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
100%. Speak
Mhm.
on things that bother you, like,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be hostile. You don't have to be
Right.
aggressive. Like
Yep.
that's not what. That's where you're stepping away from kindness.
Yep.
You're telling people the truth and how you feel and all of this, but in a gentle way,
Yep.
with that gentleness, with that grace,
Mhm.
like and so like it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying.
So we were at a graduation, right?
Uh-huh.
And you didn't stand for the Star Spangled Banner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you why, and we can talk about this, or no?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know everything that's behind it, but for me, it goes with like racism, things like that.
Mhm.
Because I don't know if it was the Star Spangled Banner or the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that, but it had some racial terms back in the day that it got taken out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I don't stand for it because that's what it used to mean for them. You know what I'm saying? For the like the United States or whatever, whoever would sing
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying. So I don't stand for that because of that. You know what I mean? And then just because of all the racism and things like that, it's more of a racism thing for me. So that's why I don't stand for it, because I don't feel like I truly believe in all that stuff. You know what I mean? Or maybe not believe in it, but I don't feel like it's right for me. You know?
Yeah. So the Pledge of Allegiance, 100% get that, right?
Mhm.
1,000%. I could say the Pledge of Allegiance, entirely different conversation, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
right? The Star Spangled Banner, right? The national anthem.
Yeah.
It hurt my feelings.
Right. Yeah. Because you're in the military.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did hurt. It genuinely did hurt my feelings. And I think and this can go like in the world, right? Because I think people don't know the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The national anthem, the entire song is about an actual battle that happened,
Mm.
where hundreds and thousands of men died.
Right.
Right? So, a war of 1812.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Francis Scott Key, right? Is the author of the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. So there was a flag in Fort Henry, Baltimore, Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was attacked by the British Navy, and it went all the way through the night, and that's what the song is saying, right? You can see the rockets red glare at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics.
Yeah.
Dawn, night, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the dawn's early night, we so proudly hailed at twilight's last gleaming. So when the sun went down, you could see the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Through the fight, you could still see it. So the rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night. So these rockets and these bombs going off is the only way they can still see the flag standing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but this is the story, right? So they can only see the flag in the middle of the night by the explosions going off, right? When the sound came up, right, there's a mountain of men who have been holding this flagpole up, dying for this flag, right? One by one, just dying. One person would die, the next four people would go to grab it, and they were just piling up against this flagpole, holding this flag up, fighting for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, man. It's one of those things that like
Right, because you're in the military, you know,
And
you
then I
feel
know the
strongly
story.
about that.
Yeah, and I know the whole story behind it. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. A lot of people, just like you, there's no separation between the two, right?
When was that song created?
When was it?
Yeah.
It would have been created that night.
No. What year was it?
That the song was wrote?
Yeah.
1814.
Okay. So, with that year, there was slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end, it says, in the land of the free. That's not speaking for everybody. That's not speaking for my people. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of what another thing that I think about, too, because that goes back into those times. That song was not written for black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because how could
Key, the guy who wrote the song, we're taking freed slaves, like former enslaved black people, and taking them back to Africa.
Okay, so is that like all that he was doing? Do we know everything? Because I know Abraham Lincoln was said to set the slaves free, but he also had slaves.
Yeah, and
so there's, you know, it's kind of like contradicting it in a way. You know what I'm saying?
So, but that's how enlightenment works,
right?
Right? You grow up. Do you grow up racist? Are you born racist or do you grow up racist?
Grow up racist. You're
right?
Like you're raised.
So
to be racist.
if you're raised and this is the only thing you know, and you have the enlightenment, you have, whether it's God speaking to you or whatever, right? You have the enlightenment to learn this is wrong. This is not okay.
Yeah.
Everybody around me is doing this. I've done this, but this is wrong.
Right.
So at one point do you say, okay, they grew, they were enlightened, they did do the right thing. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right? Is you lose your anger with your kid, are you a bad dad now?
Nope.
You learn and you're enlightened and you say, okay, I can't never do this again. It's the same process, right?
Yeah.
It's and that's as a whole. Like, are there still racist people? Yes.
Yeah.
Are there still people who think these things?
Yeah.
100%. Are there people who still believe we should have slavery? Yes. Yeah. Now what? Now the mass majority of people think it's wrong, so it's not a thing anymore, right? This is the minority of people who think that slavery should still be a thing. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an individual thing, and it becomes a problem when it's a mass group, when that is the majority.
Yeah,
when the majority is, this is how we should treat people, or this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I will 100% hate every racist, right? But I'll be proud of any racist who has the enlightenment to change their mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things of, yep, they did wrong. Francis Key had slaves.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, he was enlightened and was taking slaves somewhere safer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Away from even the racism of America back then, because it was still a thing up until the 60s.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, did he live a perfect life? No, he's not Jesus.
All right.
Did he do what he had to do to make it right? What he can do as one man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things of, you're right. America as a whole wasn't good, but do you think every man who put on that uniform and went and died in a battle, whether it's Battle of 1812 or the Iraqi War, right?
Yeah.
Global war on terrorism, these guys who can't walk anymore, who can't pick up their children, all because, and I can promise you, there's one thing that I haven't witnessed, like, from everyday, day-to-day soldiers, is racism. It's a camaraderie. We're all green. Like, we bleed green. Like, it's a saying for a reason, because these are the guys in the last moments of your life. If something happens to you, this is all you have. This is the last face you will see. Right?
Yeah.
This is the one person who's going to get me out of a shitty situation.
For me, like, I agree with you because it's, especially from a military standpoint, someone that's in the military, it is a lot deeper because I 100% stand for everything that people in any army branch, you know what I'm saying, or any military branch is doing, because that's morally right, you know what I'm saying. And then it takes a brave person and a strong kind of person to do the things that everybody in the military is doing. But it's just that mindset for me, that knowing that back then in those times it was still slavery, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know, just that the term, the land of the free, just it just doesn't sit right with me, because
Yeah.
I know it truly wasn't free,
Yeah.
at least for people like me. So
Yeah. And I get it, and there's no
yeah.
no like I don't hate you for it, nothing like that.
Right, yeah.
We were just talking about kindness and speaking about things that bother you, and it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
popped into my head.
And you just didn't know why I didn't, and
Yeah,
it hurt your
100%.
feelings. So, and I'm not upset with you for asking me. I'm glad that you asked me, you know, because we both got a better understanding of our perspectives.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So Memorial Day, the remembrance of
Fallen soldiers.
yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Or fallen military members.
yeah.
Veterans Day is
for veterans.
Yeah, people who are alive.
Yep.
Yeah. Do not text people and say thank you for your service on Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Do not,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Do not.
Is that like, do a lot of military people get upset?
No, it's just disrespect. It is disrespectful because then
Yeah.
it's just like
Because they didn't.
I don't have that
yeah.
honor.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't have that honor, so don't. Like, because I think like military wise, it is very honorable. Like,
Yeah.
it is very sad, and it's a very sad case, but at the same time, I think it's very honorable.
Yeah.
Like if you have to have that ultimate sacrifice, and you die on the battlefield or due to the battlefield, the thing that is very honorable. I think that's very honorable death.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And so I wouldn't ever want that honor placed upon me. Like, it's like stolen valor. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what stolen valor is?
No.
Stolen valor is, you ever seen videos of like guys dressing up like like they're in the military?
Oh,
they're not really in the military.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's stolen valor, which is illegal.
Isn't? Yeah. That's what I was about
Yeah.
to say. Isn't that illegal?
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's
very
a
illegal.
crime. Yeah.
But it's like that's how I see it. It's like a stolen valor. Like
Yeah.
you don't have that honor. Like,
Yeah.
so don't. And I won't be rude. Like, somebody texted me yesterday about it, and I was like, I appreciate it, but like, that's not. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
do
not
that.
what it's
Like,
for. Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people have barbecues, and a lot of people, like, for Veterans Day and Memorial Day, people have barbecues and cook and enjoy their 3-day weekend without taking a second to actually stop and think or pray about these men and women and their families. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you got to think about it. You got a day off for this, but somebody got a day off and spit it at a cemetery. Or just reminiscing about their dad, their brother.
Yeah, like it's a holiday for a reason.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't get that time off, and it wouldn't be a holiday if it wasn't for something like we celebrate the 4th of July for like independence. You know what I mean? And we celebrate Christmas for what's supposed to be the birth of Christ. You know what I mean? And just Thanksgiving, just giving thanks. You know what I'm saying? And it's deeper than that, right? There is a deeper thing for Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Thanksgiving is about pilgrims,
Yeah, it's something with the natives, isn't it?
Yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know the exact.
right. Me neither. Yeah, but just things like that is like we should take more thought into. You know what I mean? Because that's actually what we're getting the day off for. So, yeah.
And so and that's not even like in all holidays, like, and give people respect. Like, respect everyone's holiday. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I try my best to do that. You know, like, every holiday, like, especially Christmas time, I really try to pray for people who don't have families.
Yeah.
Who won't. Thanksgiving, same thing. Like, people who aren't gonna have anywhere to go. Like, if 100%, one day I will afford it. I will afford it 1 year at least in my lifetime to throw the biggest cookout for Thanksgiving and invite everyone in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have a home, you don't have a home, you have money, you don't have money,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. It'll be a place for everyone to come
Mm-hmm.
and just be able to have a place to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that'll be cool.
It's one of those things, I don't know, man. It's just, when you really sit down and think about it, it's just a sad case, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's people who haven't had Thanksgiving dinner in years, and we just take it for granted. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
like we expect it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and truthfully, like, do we even deserve it? You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, yeah, it's crazy to think about when you think about other people like that. You know what I mean? Like, we complain about small stuff every day, but there's people that wish that they were in our position. You know, we were praying for positions like this before. You know what I'm saying? So,
100%. And I think that's important to think. A lot of people forget about all the help they had on their journey and don't give back to people in the middle of their journey, right? So as far as you've come, have you done it by yourself?
No.
Okay, and I don't know, and this is not like a demeaning question.
Yeah.
When was the last time you helped somebody come up?
And I don't remember.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when was the last time you reached out to a videographer or a photographer that's just starting? Was like, hey man, let's do a collab. Let me see where you can improve. You know what I mean?
I don't think I know one that's starting out.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
So,
still, reaching back and helping. Yeah.
And so it's a lot, like, and it's a lot of things. Like, it's like people who donate to charity because there's a tax write-off. Crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like in 1 year I'll be able to, like, I just have small goals of just giving back that are important to me. Like, 1 year I will be able to go to a Walmart or a store in general that have the giving trees at Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
where you can just pick one and be able to take the whole tree.
Yeah, that is cool. I remember taking one off the tree, and we felt so good just to get that one person gifts. You know, just like being able to do it for a whole tree. You know?
Yeah, and I just, like, I don't know, man. It's just, there's a lot of forgotten people in the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, you get so comfortable living your everyday life that you forget about the people who aren't as fortunate, who are waiting for their blessing, who feel like their blessing's never going to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when people start to question faith and lose guidance. So if I can be that one person to give impact of, you know, God be with you, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, man.
Yeah. And that's the way we were supposed to be made. And then when we are able to do that, give the glory to God, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because that's the whole point. We're supposed to spread the love and spread the positivity and then give God the glory, because God put us in that position to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be spreading the you know what I'm saying, the word. So that's reaching back on further episodes where we've talked about things like this. Like, that's why whenever I have an accomplishment or something like that, I always try to mention God, you know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't have done it without him, you know what I'm saying? So we were talking about on past episodes and stuff like that. That's why whenever I do have an accomplishment or something like that, I always make sure that I give God the glory, because that gives people that don't know God or doesn't really understand or want to have that connection with God, you know what I mean? Just a view like, man, God blessed him to be able to be in that situation. I want him to do that for me, you know what 100%. I'm saying? And then just them having that want, you know, they'll get to experience the actual walk with God in itself, and they'll realize it's more than just like what they're going to get from it, you know what I mean? It's an actual relationship. So that's just cool how you can reflect off of somebody like that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think there's a big like thing about like it's too late to be saved. Like a lot of people have
and
this
it's
mindset.
never,
Like I hear that a lot when I talk to people about God and like walking with Christ. Like they just feel like they've done too much bad or evil or sinned too much for God to save them, and that's not the case at all. Like you are the perfect candidate.
Yeah.
You are the person who needs salvation.
Yep.
You are the person who needs that grace.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody who can just let you know like it's okay. You're still safe here. Like you're still like, and so.
And then even more, the ones that are in that feel like they have done so bad and things like that, that you are the perfect candidate because it goes to show like you've been in such a bad situation and you came out from it and turned your life to God. Like that's a crazy commitment that you just made, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that just shows everybody else like, whoa, like he just changed from this to this. And a lot of people will mock, and that's to be expected, you know what I mean? Because Jesus didn't have it easy on earth, you know what I'm saying? He
100%.
was mocked and hung on the cross, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the start, and you just have to keep pushing through it, you know? And then, like I said, that just goes to show more people will see.
No, 100%. Like, it's one of those things where I think it's 300. I think Jesus fulfilled 300 prophecies. Something like that.
You can fact check.
300 prophecies?
On earth?
From the Old Testament.
324. Related to the Messiah. More than 324 individual prophecies that related to the Messiah.
Yes. I'm telling you.
So we could just say over 300 prophecies.
Yeah. So Jesus fulfilled over 300 prophecies from the Old Testament. So, and we'll say like this: every like other religions. What's the word that I'm looking for? Are transparent, are noticed, I guess. Recognize, that's the word I'm looking for. So many other religions recognize Jesus, and someone will say he was just a good person, he was just whatever, he wasn't the Messiah, but recognize that he existed and he was a real person. But to fulfill over 300 prophecies is like a 1 in some trillion chance to do one, to fulfill one,
right?
Let alone
over 300. Yeah,
it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
And to question, like, there's so much evidence and so much proof that he rose from the dead and stood in front of 500 people.
Yep.
Over 500 people. Eyewitnesses. Like, why? Like, and so, question of, like, how do you know he existed? Well, you tell me, when you pass away, right? 500 people say you existed. Are they going to believe you existed?
Yeah.
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 How would they know you exist? Oh, well, someone's going to tell them about me.
Yep.
Like, and so, I don't know, man.
Yeah. And then, like, it's even being able to just tell someone about Jesus, like, it was a threat in itself, you know, because people endured so much hardship just to even continue to preach the word of Jesus. They wanted to ban just his name. Like, they wanted nobody to hear anything about Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? And the truth is they knew that right after he passed away from the crucifixion, they knew like that really was the Messiah and we just killed him, you know? So they felt the earth rumble and shake and all that, and it was just an eye opener, like, whoa, the world is acting crazy after this man just died. He was the Messiah, you know? So it not only was a like something they wanted to like hush out. It was like something that they didn't want people to know that they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were trying to hush up the whole concept of what they did to the Messiah. So it's
Yeah.
just things like that, man.
And I think there's a divide between denominations. Have you talked about this before? I don't know, man.
I think we've touched it. I don't think we've gotten much into.
So definition of Christianity is the belief in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is the following of Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Right? So before there was Catholic, before there was non-denominational, before there was Baptist, before any of it, right? Catholic Church was invented after the crucifixion of Jesus
Christ.
right? So Christianity starts with Jesus' disciples, right? That's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like it is one in that, like, if you are Catholic, you are Christian, right? It's how it works.
So what's the difference between Catholics and Christians?
Catholic is very like a very traditional. It's very traditional. They have traditions that they uphold. But it's still Christian, right? Baptist, Christian. So it's like this.
Yeah,
Christian,
like Methodist Christian too.
Yeah, Christian. So Christian is the following of Christ, or following of Jesus Christ.
There's different branches of it.
Yes. So then there's different branches off from there: Catholic, Baptist, Methodist, non-denominational, all of them, Protestant, everything. So it all stems from Christianity. Christianity is like the religion of following of the following of Christ. So if you believe in Jesus, you believe Jesus is the Messiah, you are Christian. Like that's, I don't know, man. And there's a divide, man. We there's so much like divide between like denominations of Christianity, and there shouldn't be. You're at the end of the day, you all believe that Jesus is the Messiah. You may have different traditions, you may have different like beliefs outside of that, but your fundamentals are the same. And so, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where
And then it's like, why is there all these like divisions and all that? You know what I mean? Like, like Buddhism and like just all the different stuff that like instead of Christianity, you know, where did those end up coming from? You know what I'm saying?
So Buddha believed in, I don't remember exactly how it goes. It's something like he believed in ultimate like peace and serenity and enlightenment. That's what it is. He believed in ultimate enlightenment, and when he reached ultimate enlightenment, he like uplifted or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he was the only person to reach full enlightenment in all of like Buddhism. And yeah, I guess that's Muslim is a branch of Christianity. Like, I'm pretty sure. Before I say that, I'm gonna make sure. Scholars also emphasize similarities between Islam and Christianity, such as the belief that God has sent prophets and produced scriptures to guide people's lives. Like Islam believe, I think it's Muhammad is the prophet, something like that. But they recognize Jesus as a person that existed. He's just not the Messiah.
Yeah.
Jewish people use the Old Testament, not the New Testament, because the New Testament is about the following of Jesus Christ. Yep. And so they believe that Jesus isn't the Messiah. So, like...
Mm-hmm. It's just like all pieces of the Bible being taken out and like flipped into like their own.
So
like,
I think the
ways
Quran.
or
I
something
think the
like
Quran
that.
is different. I don't think it's the same Bible
Yeah.
or the same book, but it has similarities to the Bible.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just one of those things like where we are all searching for the same thing.
Mm.
Respect, like I'm not. I don't mean any disrespect by anything that I'm saying, and I hope nobody takes it that way. But yeah, man, it's one of those things where you have, like, Christianity-wise, there needs to be a tighter knit circle. Like, it's not. We're all not like. We all are looking for the grace of God and who are we not to give it to each other?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's actually just the opposite thing that Jesus said. I don't remember where it was. Was it Matthew? I don't know, and I said this before. Jesus says, Jesus is asked, how many times should I forgive someone? And he says, 77 times. 70, I don't remember what it is. It's a lot. He said, God will give you the same grace you give others.
Yep.
Um,
The same grace you give others is the same grace you'll be met with when you get to the heaven gates.
yeah.
Or the judgment at that, you know what I mean?
And so it's just one of those things where, like, there is so much room for improvement upon so many people, man. The world is crazy, man. I think as a whole, the world is the U.S. has a big, like, loss of, like, faith, man, and that's scary. Where you talk too much about God or anything like that, and now you're a Bible thumper, or you know what I mean, like, and I don't think people have lost the way of, like, salvation, and they need to find it soon, man. And that's not be like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
Like it's not like, I don't know. It's not even like we're being funny or nothing like that. Like it's serious. Like things that were said to have to come in the Bible, like leading up to Revelations, is happening / already happened.
Yeah.
Like the plague, COVID. You know what I mean? Just things like that. It's being revealed to us. Like, you know what I mean? And some of us have the knowledge to it, and some of us don't.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are like, this is the last time, you know what I mean? So like it's most important to get right with God, like right now. Like you can't wait for that.
100%. And it's just one of those things where I'd love everyone to come and have eternal life, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, like, at what point I can overfill your cup, like, and you can still deny him, and that's the crazy thing is which is sinful, which is another sin that you can't be forgiven for, is when you, what is it called? Blasphemy, right? Which is basically the continuing denial of Jesus and God, right?
Yeah.
So you continuously,
it's like mockery and things
yes,
like
like
that.
so yeah, God's not real. Oh, yeah, and you just God keeps knocking on your door, and you just keep leaving him there, right? And so we've had this conversation before. God's not going to open a window. God's not going to break in. You got to let him in. You got to open the door for him. Satan will find his way in.
Yep.
He'll be in your crawl space.
Yep.
Like he'll do what he has to do to get into your house, and Jesus is still going to be just knocking. Like, hey man, I can get him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm right here. This is the way. And so it's just one of those things where you can only deny so long, and then when judgment comes, you're going to be standing there like, wow.
Like this whole time.
I should have listened to somebody. And with that being said, this has been an
episode of Brotherly
Beliefs. You threw incredible in there, threw me off.
Yeah.
Check us out on all social medias. Click the Linktree link and follow us on Facebook, TikTok. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all of the things. Comment, like, share.
Yeah, let us know what you guys would like to hear.
Yeah. And with that being said, until next time.
Catch you guys later.